5 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Robin, I'm just a few days older than 60. I just turned 60 the other day, and you beat me to that last September.
Sure did.
And you know, as soon it was on my birthday that my son's father-in-law said to me, "So you thinking about retiring anytime soon?" I said, "No, I don't think I want to retire." But then he was telling me about Social Security, what you can tap into. I guess not yet, not at 60, but you know, you always hear these stories about how this Social Security system is possibly overdrawn, and we're going to not have it, or people younger than us won't have it. So it's a crazy, crazy thing, isn't it? That something that was set up that you've been paying into all your life might not actually be there. So we have a lady here who's going to try to make that not happen, right? Am I right about that?
You got that
That's
right.
part of it, okay. Laura Feldman is here. It says on your information that you're a teacher, a grassroots organizer for the National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare. Thank you for the notes. And you're on the Board of Trustees for the Florida Silver-Haired Legislature.
That is correct.
All right. I don't know what that is. And you're a humorist, so you must be a funny lady. Well, you've already made us laugh a couple times, haven't you? And to your right is Sue, and I didn't catch your last name, Sue. What is your last name? Michaelson. Well, nice to meet you, Sue, and nice to meet you, Laura Feldman. Thank you both for coming in. And the event we're promoting is happening in like an hour?
Yes,
Is that
at
right?
11:30 actually.
At 11:30. And
Buffet City. We'll be talking. It's called Friday Forum.
Oh, Buffet City. Okay, no, isn't that a crazy name for a Chinese restaurant? Buffet City.
I have no idea.
It doesn't sound Chinese. It's
correct.
Buffet City. It sounds like it's everything. Well, it kind of is everything. So thank you for coming in. Yeah, how serious is this? Are we really like 10 years away from having no Social Security money?
I'm going to say wrong.
Thank you.
First of all, the younger generation, which I'll put you in since you're just 60.
Just 60, yeah.
They've done studies that say younger people believe more in flying saucers than they do in Social Security. But that is not the case. Let me assure you that Social Security is a wonderful, fabulous program that will be there unless we let some people in Congress diminish it. But can I tell you how it works?
Yeah.
All right.
How does it work?
First of all, you're paying into it because you're.
Well,
earning,
I knew that part.
You're earning big bucks here at this radio station, so
Yeah, how did you know? You saw my contract?
So you're paying that FICA tax. Let me tell you how that works. This FICA tax immediately goes into the Social Security Administration, which dispenses it and disperses it to retirees, children, the disabled, and spouses. You know, all of those checks have never been late. They're very good on time because the Social Security Administration that works on 1% administrative overhead, people don't know that, is very efficient. So that money immediately goes out to current retirees. Then what is left over is invested in government issue bonds. Now, Larry, I'd like to ask you, do you know the difference between a bond and a man?
And a man?
Sure.
Oh, this is the humorist in you, isn't it? No, I don't. I don't know the difference.
Well, you see, bonds mature.
Oh, that's
so we
great.
don't understand.
That is
So-
great, yes.
Those bonds have the full faith and backing of the United States government. They're the same bonds that China buys. So the Social Security
Is that why you go into a Chinese restaurant?
It must be. I didn't realize it was, actually. So after everyone's been paid, the rest of the money is invested in government issue bonds. And you will have people who tell you, oh, those bonds are worthless. We've spent the money. It's not there.
They do say that all the time.
I know they do, and they're wrong.
Okay.
Because they're the same bonds that have the full faith and backing of the government, which means the bonds are invested and accrue interest and then are redeemed. Those bonds are used to run the government. But once the government has reached its annual debt, what is left over is the surplus. And right now, there's over $2.7 trillion in the Social Security surplus. So you have actuaries that look ahead 75 years to see, can we pay people? What is the deal? Well, first of all, it is your earned benefit. It's not an entitlement.
Thank you. I've had this argument with people too.
Exactly.
It is not an entitlement.
Exactly, because entitlement is very pejorative now. That's like for those people who haven't really paid in.
Right.
Only people who paid in are eligible to collect. So these actuaries, and I'm going to ask you, do you know what an actuary is? I could get in trouble on this one.
Let me guess. Let's see. We have somebody who pays in, right? No.
An actuary is someone who takes all the statistics and everything and projects what will the Social Security be.
Okay.
But I like to say an actuary doesn't have a lot of personality, kind of like an accountant, and this is where I get in trouble.
Yeah.
But these guys and gals are smart. They've looked ahead 75 years into Social Security, and what they project is that we can pay full benefits till 2033. And in 2033, we don't go broke.
Right.
But we could have a 20 to 22% shortfall. So after you've retired or your kids retire, they would be reduced by their Social Security by 20%. We don't want that to happen.
No.
And it shouldn't happen.
No.
So instead of saying it goes broke, what would be honest for a politician to say is, it doesn't go broke, but is it enough? How can we boost it so that by 2033 we can pay out 100% of the benefits? And that's easy to do.
And how? I got another question after you tell me how, but...
Okay, good. I hope you have good questions.
Well, my question, can I ask you my first question and then
Certainly.
ask how? Why, though? My question is why? Why is it dropping 20%? I don't understand that. That's
a projection. And that depends on the economy, the population. They take everything into consideration. But that happens to be a low estimate. If the economy picks up, you wouldn't have that 20%. But you want to be sure that you can pay full benefits by 2033.
Okay.
So what you do, if you choose to, is you can raise the taxable wage. Now, I know you make more than $18,000.
You must have seen my contract. I don't know how you know this stuff. So
right now,
is this parallel with the Medicare money? Is it the same story? That's a different.
Totally different.
Okay.
Social Security pays for itself 100%. Does not take one penny, not one penny from general revenue. And that's amazing because you're talking about big government.
Right. And it's so different than what you hear everybody saying. I mean, everybody. And you want to know something? We are very much influenced by the voices we hear on the radio, by the voices we hear on TV. Now, Robert and I don't do this because we admit right up front we don't know anything about anything.
Yeah, right.
But a lot of the talking heads who have jobs that are like ours, but they have bigger names or whatever, I mean, they act like they know. And that means that the listeners feel like they know because they feel like they learned it from somebody who knows.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
You have the politicians, and there are reasons that Social Security and Medicare have become political. And it's always about the bottom line.
It's about scaring the voter.
It is, because that gets people involved. If they're scared and they think it's going broke.
Yeah.
If they can convince you it's going broke, then you won't have much faith in it as a younger person that it's going to be there for you. So when President Bush wanted to privatize it, it didn't work because it scared people, and they said, I love my Social Security.
Yeah,
Democrats or Republicans, it is a wonderful program that has done exactly what it's supposed to do. And what it is supposed to do is give you a secure retirement. But unfortunately, women, I'm going to look at Robin.
Because she is one.
Because she happens to be one. Women earn less and are often in and out of the workforce to raise children or take care of an elderly relative. So they earn less, plus most women earn 78 cents on the dollar compared to a man. So they have less.
You haven't seen her contract, have you?
Not yet. Not yet. We're checking it out. But in general. And Social Security's purpose is to give you a boost in your retirement. It used to be you had savings, pension, Social Security.
Right.
Today, most of the pensions have gone away.
They have, yeah.
And women didn't have them in the first place. So we're left with savings and Social Security.
Well, now, every year around my birthday, I always get this paper from the Social Security office with projected how much money I'll be able to get and stuff. Why can't a person just use that paper and say, okay, I don't want to wait to have it doled out monthly. Why can't I just cash in for the lump sum?
Okay, the way it works is this. In order to be a collector of Social Security, the early retirement age is 62. The reason to take it at 62 is very individual, because at 62 you get a reduced benefit. If you earn too much money, you lose $1 out of every 3 of your Social Security. The idea being you're going to collect it longer, so you will eventually, if you are lucky enough to live longer, you will collect it longer, so therefore it will eventually equal out. Full age of retirement is now going up to 67. It's about 66 now in 10 months.
Why is it raising?
Oh, you have people in Congress who would like to raise it to 70.
That's wrong.
When Social Security started, it was 65.
Yeah.
And the whole idea was this is a good work life, and you should be able to retire by 65 because people died younger. They've raised it because we are living longer, and because we are living longer, we starting later. And the whole idea is it is a social insurance, and this is what I want your listeners to really take away. Social Security is social insurance, meaning it's not just yours, Robin. It's not just yours, Larry.
That we've paid for.
You've paid into it, and God forbid you die before you take it. What happens to that money?
Exactly. Where does it go?
It goes to the widow, the child, or the disabled.
$250 is all the widow gets, though.
It depends on the work history of the person who has paid in. I am a woman who is working. I can collect Social Security on my own record. I happen to be married. I am also eligible, because I'm age of retirement, to collect half of my husband's if it's higher than mine. I have a choice. You can only collect one. So I'm collecting my own. My husband is collecting his own. When he passes away before me, because you know men don't live as long as women, then I have a choice of collecting on my own or his. And because he's a male, his income has been higher than mine. So I will switch over and collect his Social Security. So what happens to mine?
Right.
Robin, I hope you live till 105. Social Security follows you all of your life. It's not like a pension or even your savings. So what it means is I will be collecting on my Social Security. His will go to the widow, the disabled. My husband's father died when he was 13. He collected Social Security until he graduated from college. That's the child of a deceased worker.
Oh, wow.
It's a wonderful program.
Laura, we have to take a little break, but we'll be right back. If you have any questions, by the way, call in. But better than that, show up at the restaurant. What's it called again?
Buffet City.
Buffet City on Highway 200 and Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, right? That's at that corner right there, right? It's the Chinese restaurant. For those of you who didn't know that's what it was called, it used to be some kind of a cowboy joint, right? Yeah, it used to be a cowboy club. Now it's a Chinese restaurant. So Chinese cowboys. We'll be right back and learn more. If you have a question, though, you are welcome to call 622-9622. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. It'll be sunny today, but breezy and cool with a high between 57 in the northernmost part of the zone and 65 in the southernmost part. Clear and cold tonight. Those will drop to 30 in the interior spots to about 40 along the coast. Sunny but cool tomorrow, high 60 to 64. And for Sunday, plenty of sunshine, highs ranging from 60 in the northernmost part of the zone to 67 in the southernmost part. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Where did you sit when the dust settled?
Richard Petty goes back in front. They both spin. They're in the wall.
Where did you sit when the tempers flared?
And now it appears we may have a fist fight. Drivers and helmets.
Or when standing ovation took on a whole new meaning?
All the pit crews out on pit lane to salute Dale Earnhardt, who is...
Well, from where we sit, this Daytona 500 is the chance of a lifetime. Because this is your final opportunity to experience the great American race from some of the classic seats that have witnessed some of the most famous moments in racing history. And it's your first chance to say hello to the future in all new grandstands where fans will bear witness to all the legendary moments yet to come. So where will you sit this February 22nd? Don't miss your one and only chance to experience Daytona at a unique moment in history. The Daytona 500, Sunday, February 22nd. To guarantee your seats, call 1-800-PIT-SHOP or visit Daytona500.com.
Join us on Saturday, March 7, 2015 for the second annual Habitat Strawberries Festival at the McPherson Government Complex. The goal of this festival is not only to provide a great time for families in Ocala, but to also raise funds to build a home for our family and our community and support Habitat for Humanity's mission to strengthen communities, build hope, and provide dignified housing solutions. Remember, Saturday, March 7, 2015 for the second annual Habitat Strawberries Festival at the McPherson Government Complex, which starts at 7 a.m. with breakfast.
All right, 20 minutes after 11 o'clock. Nice looking Friday. If you haven't eaten yet, why don't you make plans to go down to the City Buffet? What's it called? Buffet City. Sorry, I'll never get this name. And Laura Feldman will be there. Are you talking to the whole room?
Yes,
Or is there a special room in there?
I believe it is a special room, and it's
Okay.
called Friday Forum.
Oh, okay. Oh, is it what's
Delphine.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
it is
Thank you.
Delphine.
Okay, and Sue Michaelson is in the studio as well. Sue, you're with, what was the organization again?
I'm working for the National Committee.
Okay, and
Represent
Laura, you are with
here.
the National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare.
And Sue Michaelson is one of our district coordinators. She is a volunteer who works her heart out.
And you live in Washington, D.C.?
I do.
Well, welcome to Ocala.
Thank you.
We have somebody on the phone ready to ask you a question. And Sue, if you put your headphone on, you'll be able to hear them. Just make sure you put them on first. Oh, you got it trapped under your pocketbook. Okay. There you go. There you go. Can you hear me, Sue? Okay, that means you'll hear the caller. Good morning. Thank you for waiting, by the way, and for holding on. You're on the air now with Laura Feldman.
Thank you. I was just driving along, and I have a question for the Social Security lady.
Yes.
Yes, hi.
Hi.
Hi. I took, my name's Jean, and I'm currently in Florida, but I live in Boston. My question is this. I took early retirement at 62, and my benefit is it just went up to $86 a month. Now, why would that? I've been to several Social Security offices. They tell me I cannot take anything from my ex-husband, even though we were married 12 years, and my benefit is $86 per month. You do have any bite? Could you get on that, please?
Okay. Well, for the rest of the listeners, if you have been married to someone for 10 years or more, you are actually entitled to that person's Social Security. So,
Right.
But once you take your retirement at 62, you are locked in to the lower benefit. But you could check what is your former husband still living?
Yes, he is.
Oh, that's a shame.
Well, it's kind of ironic because he's very, very wealthy. And I don't know if he's taking Social Security or not. He's self-employed. I do not know that. But $86 a month doesn't even buy coffee.
No, it doesn't.
And, I mean, you have, it just seems unfair. And what they've done is, I've been to an office in Leesburg, I've been to 2 or 3 offices in Massachusetts, and there seems to be absolutely no way that they will give me more than, whatever the benefit just went up, I think, $1 or $2.
So the Social Security you were taking was on your own work record, I would guess.
Yes.
That's why it's so low.
I started working at 17, but the way they factor it, somehow they don't. I worked for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts for a while, so of course I have that little tiny pension. But the point is, they go. I guess in Massachusetts, I don't know if it's countrywide, but they will not count my working years prior to becoming a state employee. They will not count that. And
So
there's a lot of money there.
So you've added something else. You also have something called government pension offset because you worked for the state.
Right.
And that is another factor of why your Social Security is so low. Your best bet is when your husband passes away, you will be able to collect from his Social Security. But
when he kicks the bucket?
Yep. But until then, you are locked into your own.
It's got to be natural, though, just so you know.
I was
No
gonna
rat
say-
poison.
Yeah, he's
No
very-
excessive Coumadin doses.
He's very healthy, but the thing is, we have 3 children, then he has another batch of 3 children. So how would my children, I mean, I got some questions, but no matter when I go to the office of a Social Security business place, you wait forever, and they don't seem to have the same story.
Well, first of all, let me stop you there. When you go to a Social Security office, you should always have an appointment, and that will help eliminate your wait time.
Right.
They
And I
can
do.
they can pull up your record and they will look at your government pension offset, but they will also be able to advise you as to your children. And since you were married the 10 years, and it depends on their ages, this becomes a very personal story, and I don't have all of your record, of course, in front of me. But this brings up the point of Eleanor's hope, which is one of the things we've been talking about at the National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare. Because what happens is women such as yourself end up becoming impoverished because of your own work history and because of your marital status. So what we are trying to do at the National Committee is start the conversation about boosting Social Security so that not only women will not be impoverished in their retirement years. We're talking about equality for your work record versus those of the male counterpart. So I can't solve your problem right here, but I would say this. Do make an appointment with your Social Security local office and ask the questions about what will happen once your former husband passes away. And then you will have a look at your future. For now, you are stuck with the early retirement age and your own work history.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you for calling. We're just at the end of the show, though, but thank you for calling.
Thank you.
And you
Thank
can
you
go
very
meet
much.
Laura in
Bye-bye.
person at the restaurant, the Buffet City restaurant.
City.
Okay? I think she left. Thank you. But yeah, that's the important message here. Obviously, a short interview on the radio is not going to answer everything. But I want to thank you for coming in, Laura. And again, if you want, what time is the meeting?
11:30.
11:30. How are you going to do that?
I'm pretty good at being 2 places at once.
Okay, all right. So get over there right now because Laura's going to leave straight from here and go over there. Be careful. That's a crazy road you're on here. The Highway
Well, I've got my chauffeur.
I
who's
know.
Perfect.
That's right. She's wonderful.
And that is my volunteer. I want you all to know this is not a fancy black limo. But may I end with this and just say, for those of you in the listening audience, Social Security is one of the greatest things this country has ever done. Pay attention to what this Congress suggests. There could be some suggested changes like raising the age to 70. If you feel strongly about Social Security for you and your children, please speak up to your senators and to your representatives. They'll all tell you they want to strengthen it, but the question is how. So don't be fooled by a lot of the political rhetoric, because Social Security is one of the best things this country's done. We can sustain it. We can boost it for women who have worked all of their lives as well as their male counterparts.
Future women or that woman right now? Can you boost hers?
Right now.
Okay. Oh, no,
No,
you saying
not the lady we were just talking
Okay,
to, but I'm
okay.
talking about anyone who is still working and paying into their earned benefit. And I thank you all
Laura,
for having me.
Thank you for coming to WOCA. You got 40 seconds to get over there. So go get yourself something to eat at the Buffet City Chinese restaurant and listen to what Laura has to say. And thank you for coming in. That was wonderful.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for my sidekick, Sue Michaelson, who is living right here and is also a great resource. Thank you.
And thank you to Mary Savage. She's another good lady.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back. This is WOCA Ocala.
Blog Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. The Northeast in for a bitterly cold weekend. Wind chill warnings in many areas. Boston could get another foot of snow.
This has beaten some of the historic numbers throughout history, particularly for 30-day snowfall. It beat the week record. So despite the fact that New England knows how to handle snow, this is still a lot of snow.
Fox's Molly Lime. Boston's had more than 6 feet of snow in less than 3 weeks. The trial continues of Eddie Lee Ralph, accused of killing Chris Kyle, depicted in the film American Sniper, and his friend.
A Texas Ranger who processed the crime scene testified that both Chad Littlefield and Chris Kyle had .45 caliber pistols in waistband holsters. They were never drawn, and both were found to have the safety position on.
Phil Alvarado of Fox affiliate KDFW in Dallas. New Orleans police say one person's in custody after the shooting death of a person and wounding of another. It was during the Muses Parade ahead of Mardi Gras. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Times are different than they were when Geico started saving people money over 75 years ago. Everybody takes photos of their food nowadays. You can bet none of us kids would snap pictures of Mom's tuna casserole surprise. To this day, we don't know what the surprise was, nor do we want to. We didn't always have tasty food, but we always had great car insurance with Geico.
Geico, saving people money on car insurance for over 75 years.
You're running your business, and we at Wix.com know things can get stressful. But creating your website doesn't have to be. With Wix, you can create a professional website all by yourself. It's easy and free. You don't have to be a programmer. Just drag and drop everything into place. It's your website, your style. Show the world what you can do. Go to Wix.com and create your own stunning website today. It's easy and free.
NASCAR fans, it's time to get charged up with New Holland. As the official agricultural equipment sponsor of NASCAR, New Holland is giving race fans the opportunity of a lifetime by offering the chance to win tickets to the Daytona 500. Visit your participating New Holland dealer to receive a free portable phone charger to keep you charged up on race day, a special equipment offer, and the chance to win tickets to the season opening race of the Daytona 500. To enter, visit Ocala Tractor on 5841 North Highway 441, February 20th from 3 to 5. Offer good while supplies last.
Central Florida Eye Institute is the area's leader in laser vision correction. From high-definition refraction surgery and LASIK vision correction to custom cataract, glaucoma, and diabetic treatment, you can count on Dr. Crowley and his effective